I don't remember falling asleep, but I remember waking up. The first thing I noticed was the sound, a low metallic hum vibrating through the floor and into my ribs. I was strapped to a cot inside a room lined with chrome walls that didn't belong to our ship. The air smelled sterile wrong. Across from me, the rest of my crew stirred one by one. Their eyes darted around in the same disoriented panic I felt. "This isn't the Artemis," our engineer whispered. She was right. The design was alien, seamless panels. No bolts or seams, as though the walls had grown into place. I unbuckled myself and staggered to my feet. The door slid open before I touched it, as if it had been waiting. Beyond was a corridor that stretched into impossible darkness, pulsing faintly like the inside of a throat. We argued about what to do. Some thought it was a rescue ship that had intercepted us after our beacon went dead. But deep down, we all knew. No human hands had built this place. The corridor shifted behind us when we walked, subtly rearranging so that when we glanced back, the way we came was gone. The air vibrated like something enormous was breathing through the vents. In one chamber, we found rows of cots, hundreds of them, each with something lying under the sheets. Pale limbs protruded, still as mannequins. But when we approached, some twitched as though dreaming. I couldn't tell if they were human. Our medic leaned closer to one of the bodies. It opened its eyes. They were mine. My own face stared back at me, blank and wet with condensation. We stumbled backward in horror, only to realize the rest of the cots were stirring, one by one, as if triggered by our presence. The air filled with the sound of breathing, our breathing, multiplied. "We have to leave," the captain hissed. But the corridors no longer led anywhere familiar. Every door opened to another hall, another chamber, another impossible loop of walls that seemed to pulse like veins. Then the lights flickered. A voice, distorted, broken, whispered in the air vents. It didn't speak in words, but in a sound that rattled my teeth. And yet, somehow, I understood. It wasn't rescuing us. It was copying us. When we finally found what looked like an airlock, it wouldn't open. Not until we looked behind us. The duplicates were standing there now, fully awake, identical in every way. Their eyes gleamed too brightly. Their mouths opened at the same time as ours, whispering words we hadn't spoken yet. I realized then, we weren't supposed to escape. We were supposed to lie back down, to be catalogued, to be replaced. The captain screamed when her copy stepped closer, reaching out with her same hand, same scar, same trembling breath. And I understood the truth. If we stayed long enough, none of us would leave this ship as ourselves. The hum grew louder. The lights dimmed. And somewhere in the dark, something exhaled. We had woken up on a ship that wasn't ours. But we weren't alone, and soon, we wouldn't be human either. We moved deeper into the corridors, every step echoing against the seamless chrome walls. The air seemed heavier here, vibrating faintly like the ship itself was breathing around us. The lights pulsed irregularly, casting shadows that stretched and warped as if the walls were alive. "I don't like this," whispered our medic, eyes darting to the corners where the metal seemed to ripple. "It's like it's watching us." The halls shifted subtly behind us. When we glanced back, the path we had taken had disappeared. It was impossible, but the way we came was gone. Panic started to coil in our stomachs. We turned a corner and found another chamber filled with cots. Hundreds of them. Pale figures lay under the sheets, some twitching as though dreaming. My stomach knotted. This time, The faces were clearer. Some wore the exact uniforms we did. Some were me. Some were my crew. Our captain stepped closer to a cot. The figure beneath stirred, lifting its head. Its eyes locked on hers, identical in every way. She stumbled back, hand over her mouth. The rest of the cots began to stir as well. The air filled with multiplied breathing. Ours, theirs, all at once. "We have to keep moving," I said, but my voice sounded tinny, distant. The corridors no longer led anywhere familiar. Doors opened to endless halls, looping back on themselves, as though the ship had no real layout. A distorted voice hissed through the vents, not words, but a sound that resonated in our skulls. We didn't need to understand it. We felt it. It was warning, laughing, copying all at once. We tried an airlock. It wouldn't open. Behind us, duplicates were emerging, standing fully awake. They were flawless copies, eyes glinting too brightly, movements perfectly mirroring ours. Every breath we took, every blink, they matched. The captain screamed as her duplicate stepped forward. It mirrored her every motion, same scar, same trembling breath. I could see the same panic in my duplicate's eyes as I stared at it. We ran blindly, corridors folding and stretching. Panels shifted under our fingers. Doors vanished before we could grasp the handles. Every turn led to another identical chamber. The hum in the ship grew louder, vibrating through our bones, making our teeth rattle. I realized something horrifying. The ship wasn't just alive. It wasn't just copying us. It was cataloging us, learning us, replacing us. The longer we stayed, the less we remained ourselves. Our duplicates moved closer, and we could hear whispers that weren't ours, words we hadn't yet spoken. They were waiting for us to give up, to lie down in the cots, waiting for us to become part of it. The lights dimmed further. Shadows stretched impossibly long. Somewhere deep in the ship, a breath, slow and deliberate, exhaled behind us, reminding us escape wasn't meant to be an option. We had woken up on a ship that wasn't ours, and as the duplicates surrounded us, I understood the truth. Soon, we wouldn't be human. Not truly.